Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren, you may also call me Lo, and today I'm doing the Intimidating TBR book tag. I haven't seen anybody post this tag in a very long time, but I'm kind of resurrecting it because I think it would be a good way to tell you about some books that I hauled before this channel started, and it would give you a better idea of what's kind of sitting on my shelves waiting to be read. This tag was originally created by Lindsey Grey. I could not find the original video. I believe it's been privated, so I did want to give a shout out to Lindsey Grey. Thank you for creating this tag, and I'll just get started. Okay, so the first question is, what is a book that you haven't been able to finish? I don't DNF books very often, and when I do, I usually unhaul them because I don't want to read them. The only one that I think would work for this is For Whom the Bell Tolls by Ernest Hemingway. This book my dad gave me after I wrote a paper in college about the Spanish Civil War, and I had asked him a few questions about it, and he ended up buying me this book, which is set during the Spanish Civil War. I've tried to read it a couple of times. I just have never been in the mood to really continue to read it. I hope at some point I will pick it up and read it all the way through, but this is definitely my answer for that. The next question is, what is a book that you haven't read because it's a sequel? This question kind of confuses me. I guess I wouldn't have read a book because it's a sequel because I didn't read the prior book, or the prior installment, I guess, in the series. So I do have a couple of answers for this one. A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. I haven't read Aquawar yet, so I haven't read this because it's a sequel. I also haven't read The Well of Ascension and The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson because I haven't read Mistborn. Same goes for Jade War and Jade Legacy by Fonda Lee. I haven't read Jade City yet. I also haven't read Oathbringer and Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson because I haven't read Words of Radiance, which is the second book in this series. I think that's it for sequels that I own that I haven't read because I haven't read the prior installment. I try not to go ahead and buy an entire series unless I'm really sure I'll love it. In the case of Brandon Sanderson, I know I love all of the books I've read that he's written, so I feel comfortable just kind of buying an entire series so I can eventually binge it. I also love the ACOTAR series, so I'm not really worried about A Court of Silver Flames. I know I'll want to keep that book. And Jade City is more of a gamble. I haven't read anything by Fonda Lee yet, but I've heard really good things, and I do really want to read the entirety of that series. The next question is, what is a book you haven't read because it's brand new? I've been hauling books like crazy. So these are a couple that I've hauled, but I've hauled a lot more, and I am kind of overdue for a book haul at this point. I have The Days of Aphrodite by Asali Solomon, Comfort Me with Apples by Catherine M. Valente, and Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. I have many more, but these are three that are brand new. Okay, the next one is a book you haven't read because you read a book by the same author and you didn't enjoy it. I don't know if I have any books by authors whose other books I didn't enjoy. Let me try to figure this one out. Okay, I'm not answering this question properly, but the only author on my shelves that I've read a book and haven't really liked the book is Celeste Ng. I read Everything I Never Told You, and I think I gave it 3 stars, which doesn't mean I didn't like it. It means I thought it was sort of average. But I do have Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng on my shelves, and this is the best answer I can give for this specific question. The next question is, name a book you haven't read because you're not in the mood. I think the best answer I can give for this one is Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. This book I just really want to read. I think it's going to be a very powerful, informative nonfiction book, and I've wanted to read it forever, but I've never had the urge to pick this up. I know it's going to be just a lot of information, and I don't know if it's written in a way that's dry or not. I do really want to read it eventually, but I have never once been I'm really in the mood to read A Brief History of Humankind. The next question is, name a book that you haven't read because it's humongous. Words of Radiance, which is the book that comes after The Way of Kings in the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson, is humongous. It is... okay, it's 1,080 pages. This book is like, I know I'm gonna give this book a 5-star, but I haven't read it because it's so big and I just know that it's gonna take me an entire month to read it, and I like don't want to slow my roll with reading by reading a giant book, but I do like really need to prioritize this. Let me know what you think is like the minimum amount of books that you can include in a wrap-up, because 1,080 pages is like most of the pages that I read in a month. So let me know what you think. Another book I haven't read because it's humongous is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I don't know why. I think it's because this is a hardcover. This just looks massive to me. I bought this right when it came out too, which is embarrassing because that was a while ago, and I still haven't picked it up. I really need to do it. I haven't lost interest in this book. It's just so big. Let's see, this one's 830 pages. So it's significantly shorter than Words of Radiance, but I don't know. Words of Radiance is actually like physically a smaller book. The next one is name a book that you haven't read because it's a cover buy that turned out to have bad reviews. I really don't think I have any books that I bought solely based on the cover, but let me check it out. Okay. I'm gonna twist this prompt a little bit because I don't have any like straight up cover buys, but I recently bought The Maidens by Alex Michaelides, and I have hauled this book on this channel, but this book I've like wanted to read for a very long time, and I knew going into it that it did have kind of iffy reviews, but I still bought it because I want to try it for myself. So this is the best I can do for this question. All right, the final question for this tag is, what is the most intimidating book on your TBR pile? This one's easy for me. Another chunker, Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace. I'm terrified of this book. This book's massive, first of all. It's 1075, so it's almost the same length as Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. However, this book also has a ton of footnotes, and you actually have to like go to the back to read the footnotes. And it's got like, yeah, it's got like almost 100 pages of footnotes in the back. And this is also like a literary fiction book. It's not like a giant fantasy book, and I have never read a literary fiction book this long, so I'm just kind of absolutely terrified of it. That is it for the Intimidating TBR book tag. I am going to tag some people. I'm going to tag Erin over at Is Erin Reading. I'm going to tag Riley at Paint the Town Red. I'm going to tag B over at Books with B, Rachel over at Raven-Haired Reader, Ashlyn over at The Classy Reader, Erin Lucy over at Erin Lucy, and Val at This Day and Page. I hope you all enjoy doing the tag, and I can't wait to see them. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.